Story time!
Bartleby the Brave, written by Victoria Hyla, Maldonado, illustrated by Ronald B. Botts Jr. 3 sparrow chicks fluttered into the nest. An old bird hugged them close to his chest. "Grandpa, Grandpa, tell us a story," he smiled. "I know one about bravery and glory. So settle on in, listen close and behave, and I'll tell you the story of Bartleby the Brave." Bartleby bird gave a great big stretch one morning in his cosy nest. The sun was bright, the weather breezy, the brisk wind made his beak quite sneezy. But nothing would stop him from getting up. He couldn't be late for the Brave Bird Cup. Today was especially great, you see, because right underneath this very tree, coming from across the forest wide, birds of all kinds gathered and tried to be the best, bravest birds around by swooping and diving past cars that came round. Young Bartleby watched the games every time. He cheered on his favourites. Oh, they were divine. Like Ned Needlebeak, the strong nuthatch, and Bobby the blue jay, who no one could match. Carissa the catbird, of course she was quick, and Monty the martin, he knew every trick. Bartleby flew out to his favourite limb, a fantastic spot, known only by him, or so he thought. But to his shock, some other birds were in his spot. "Excuse me," he said, "but this is my space. I sit here each time there is a race." "Get lost, little bird. We got here first," said the mean red bird, so harshly it hurt. "Surely there's room for little old me." "Scram, little bird. There's not room for 3. The cardinals here were bigger and bolder, so Bartleby frowned and shrugged his shoulders. Bartleby tried to find a new spot. With all good limbs taken, he found just one knot, with a view that was very much hidden by leaves, and from here Bartleby could almost not see. "Oh no," the bird frowned. "This will be the first year that I haven't been able to watch and cheer." Yet Bartleby's frown stayed only a minute as the games began with his favourite birds in it. He ducked and bobbed to see them come by, but the leaves were so thick he could almost cry. The sparrow looked longingly back at his place, and the redbird just sneered with a quite nasty face. But as Bartleby watched, that bird changed his tune. When up onto their branch an old cup legend flew. Bartleby's mouth now dropped open wide as Carmine the cardinal landed beside. "Grandpa!" the cardinal bully exclaimed. "Grandpa?" Bartleby whispered the name. "I see that you found a good spot for the cup," observed the old bird, looking down and then up. "Maybe some day, Carl, you'll bravely compete," said the old to the young with a toss of his beak. As the racebird of legend flew down and away, Bartleby noticed the redbird's dismay. "I'll show him I'm fast, I'll show him I'm brave," the cardinal squawked before flying away. Bartleby's face came alive with delight. He had his branch back, and he quickly took flight. then settled on in to watch all of the greats and the new Bird Cup hopefuls. Oh, I just can't wait. First, Bobby the Blue Jay readied his wings to perform his death-defying windshield swings. Then Ned Needleback dipped deeply and dived. Just watching made Bartleby feel so alive. Bartleby cheered and Bartleby howled as the competition left him completely wowed. Of all the bird flyers, he was ever so proud. But then he noticed, apart from the crowd, that the same red bird who'd taken his seat was approaching the edge of the Bird Cup street. As Bartleby watched, the cardinal swooped close to her windshield. The bird looped-a-looped, but as he began to turn his upswing and go over the roof, the car clipped his wing. Tumbling end over end, he fell right down onto the hard and cold black paved ground. Bartleby gasped, but saw no one had seen. Their eyes were all fixed on the award-giving scene. The small sparrow saw that Carl couldn't get up, and bearing down fast was a big semi-truck. Without a thought, Bartleby flew from his branch, heading straight to the road, hoping there was a chance. He reached Carl's side and said, "Get up, you must, or you will be hit by this very big truck." The injured bird nodded and lifted a wing, letting Bartleby move him along inch by inch. Just as they both reached the side of the road, the truck rumbled past. It never once slowed. Before he could rest, Bartleby was swept up, whisked up and away by a gust from the truck. The world spun around, and up was now down, as Bartleby was tossed here and there, all around. He looped and he swooped, and he went topsy-turvy, twisting and whirling in a wind path so curvy. At last, when the world had stopped turning and spinning, a big flock of birds came towards him, all grinning. Carmine the Cardinal, the legend of old, wrapped a wing around Bartleby and said loud and bold, "Never in all of my Bird Cup years has a bird dodged a truck with such style and no fear. And to top it all off, you have saved my grandson. I say to you birds, these games were just won." With a cheer from the crowd and nods all round, in Bartleby's arms soon the trophy was found. As the birds raised him up in the air so high, Bartleby's tears welled up in his eyes. "I never thought I would be able to say that Bartleby became a brave hero that day." The children looked up at their grandpa with awe. "That sparrow was you, wasn't it, Grandpa?" "Indeed it was, my sweet little birds. So you need to remember these few special words. Whether you're big or whether you're small, when you care about others, you're a hero to all." The end. We really hope you enjoyed this story. Come back another day for another amazing Breakfast Boost Challenge story. Bye.
Story time!